Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we have confirmation that 2 Joy-Con drift class action claims were dismissed. Now, they were dismissed by the people who originally filed them, which were parents of kids, and they essentially thought that Nintendo had intentionally sold them Joy-Cons with drift in them. So if that's the case, I'm for this being dropped, as I doubt Nintendo really decided, you know what, we're gonna sell this family some defective Joy-Cons. We're gonna put these defective Joy-Cons out into the market. I severely doubt that was Nintendo's goal. Joy-Con drift is a massive problem, don't get me wrong, but Nintendo obviously didn't intend for it to happen. I thought that this was essentially waiving Nintendo of any blame whatsoever for the Joy-Con drift, though, in which case this would be bullshit, but no one's denying that Joy-Con drift exists, at least. Honestly, some fake Switch 2 leaker needs to just come out and say, like, oh, Joy-Con drift is being entirely annihilated. They have a foolproof plan to go against it for the Switch 2. And I guarantee you that would already net it millions and millions of dollars in sales. Now, I'm sure all of you guys have heard of OpenAI's new AI bot that they revealed and have seen all the clips of it essentially solving a kid's math homework, teaching it how to do the problem. Basically, this AI is supposed to be the most advanced one that we've seen so far, able to respond almost human-like to any input that you give it. Now, I'll be the first to admit that it definitely seems more reliable than some fuck like ChatGPT, right? But I don't understand the massive hype and everything that's going on behind this. Like, everyone is sucking this AI's imaginary cock. For one, there's been many accounts of it failing to reason, which is its whole gimmick, and it doesn't even work. And two, I've read that it can't even learn anything new. So that would mean that anything that would have to be any way to increase its intelligence would have to be coded in by humans anyway. So I thought the entire point of an AI was so that it can learn on its own. You feed it a bit of information, and then it uses that information to come to even more conclusions from there. That's just basically what an AI is. So does this even qualify as an AI if you need to do so much extra programming for it? All in all, I don't see how this is the super AI that everyone thinks it is. Alright, now we pivot to movie news, starting with Supergirl. It's going to be released on June 26, 2026, and it stars Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Now, I don't know if that casting is new or not, but she has only been in House of the Dragon. After looking her up, that's the only notable thing that I see. So, not much to go off of actress-wise. But in terms of release date, I think the release date is kind of interesting, as it shows that James Gunn wants to go for a slower output volume. As I believe it's only Superman that's coming out before this movie, if you don't count Joker and all the Elseworlds movies and all that. Sure, there's series like Creature Commandos, but with that one being animated, it's probably under a different department. So I think it is a good sign for DC that they're doing what Marvel is trying to do now with slower output. But really, Marvel isn't slowing down that much. They're still releasing like 3 to 4 series a year, 2 to 3 movies a year. That's still fucking insane. So I think the DCU has a chance, even though I doubt I'll get into it. One, if I'm not even watching Marvel projects and I'm actually interested in the Marvel heroes, I'm not going to be spending money on tickets to go see DC projects. A Tomb Raider series has now been confirmed. This is clearly only due to the poll that came out. Remember that poll, guys, that had Lara Croft as number one most iconic video game character of all time? In all seriousness, there's not much to say about this because we don't have any information aside from the writer who has only worked on Indiana Jones and has also acted in Solo. But that's all I could really find on them that was notable. I guess we'll see if Prime Video can keep their streak of good video game adaptations up after Fallout. But you can't use that as a metric because they have entirely different creative teams. Now we have some updated Marvel release dates, which will likely all get moved again as they usually do. But Daredevil is March 2025, Ironheart is next year, and the Agatha series is September 18th of this year. So we did get more Agatha news today, like people were expecting. They were expecting a trailer, but instead we got release date and another new title. That's 2 titles in 2 days. I can't wait for tomorrow's new title. Assuming this one sticks, the title is officially Agatha All Along. Now, I wonder if that was an intentional joke on the Marvel PR team. They were like, hey, we should just call it Agatha All Along so that we can act like we had this title planned the entire time. This has had to have been just a huge marketing stunt to get people talking about it because no one wants to talk about Agatha, so we have to talk about the titles instead.